Hello everybody, welcome. I hope you're doing all right. Here we are coming to almost the end of the summer. Everything cooled up a little bit, so it's a bit more pleasant. Anyway, I wanted to say a couple of things about the major chord. We should not be scared to play simply the arpeggio, yeah? On a major chord, or the triad. Watch. Now I can play an inversion of that. Or the other one. Anything we can make up. Huh? So, the major triad is really, really important. Now, not only, for instance, the minor E minor. We play C major 7 so often. C major 7 is nothing, but you could see this chord like E minor with a C in the bass produce C major 7. That means that I can go to the inversions I can play the arpeggio. Yeah? Do you remember Duke Ellington? He does it in a different key. But anyway, what is he doing? He plays E minor, but he also plays A minor. Because for the same token, if E minor produce C major 7, A minor produce C major 6. So remember, I can play E minor. Yeah. It's a very beautiful piece of Debussy. Sentite over B flat pedal, he says, let me see if I can remember it. Let's see, he says, yeah, the piece is in E flat, is the first prelude of a 24, I think they are, prelude. Anyway, this for a major chord. Now, one day Barry asked me, E minor, what is the dominant of E minor? B7. Sometimes we play chords like that. I can play what you hear sometimes. Yeah, you hear that. Or I could play a half step before the major triad. So actually, I am playing, yeah? Coleman Hawkins used to do that a lot. You can do the same thing in A minor, because the dominant of A minor is actually E. So I could say, now I need to practice this stuff myself, believe me when I tell you, because you know it's a lot of stuff. Now let's talk for a second about the dominant chord. Now the dominant chord obviously has a triad as well. You know, I can play D minor 7 with this hand. If you got big hand, I recommend to try to play the third. I'm in trouble myself with this, but it's important. Now, look if I say, yeah, I play the major triad. Now I can play the inversion. The inversion of the triad. I don't have to start on one all the time. One. I have to learn how to come out right with those kind of things. Pause is part of playing. Silent is part of music. Okay? There is no interaction in music. In a sense that if you do take a pause, they have to be in a context of music, not something that interrupt. Okay. Now, let's come to what Barry used to call the important minor, this D minor 7 over G. Sometimes you hear things like, sometimes you hear these kind of things. It's actually D minor with a G in a bass, D is the 5th, and F is the 7th, and A is the 9th. So, if I start with the fundamental tone of G, and I run up to the D, I can say, you know, when I get to this, and I come down with the important minor, I could actually go, I went down to the 9th of G, and come down with the chord, yeah, with the D minor. Same thing can be done with F, because F is a major triad found on a 7. We use this chord, we call it sus chord. Sus, obviously it means suspended. What is he suspending? The 3rd. Right? So, like as before, I start from G and I round to the D, and I came down with the D minor. I can go to F. You know, and when I touch the F, and when I touch, so basically what I'm doing, what I try to do, is to extend the chord. Yeah, so the chord extended. Right? That's why Barry didn't really believe in 2/5, because 2 is part of 5. There it is. So D minor 7 is nothing but a preparation for a G. It's a suspended chord. It's like almost sus. Have a good practice, and I hope we get together soon.